Hello everybody, Sergey here again, and so today I'll be reporting on these thunderstorms which are ongoing. So this is a group of severe thunderstorms that's causing a lot of trouble up in the north. If I zoom out, we can see them here. There's a large front at Cell, Indiana, and some weaker parts over here. And meanwhile, there's a squall-in building with a few supercells ahead of it. You can see the line building along here. If we look at the current CAPE index or instability index, you can see that CAPE is way over 2,000 joules, more than enough for severe weather. Typically in spring, CAPE of up to 1,000 is enough for severe weather, but this is going to be 3 times that, so this is going to be a really massive problem. And it spreads way up even into Minnesota. But most of it will be confined to Iowa and Missouri. And the CAPE will last throughout the night before rebuilding the next day, and I'll get into that shortly. But first of all, these storms are becoming tornadic, and today it's enhanced risk, so really dangerous. If you look at this one, mesoscale discussion, it's a tornado watch. So a favorable corridor for tornadoes will exist. So low-level winds will intensify and warm air will move north. This is a favorable territory for them to form. Tornado winds could be up to 150 miles per hour, but it probably will be around like 140 max. If I zoom out again and take a look at windy and look at winds aloft, there are very strong winds in this area. Strong winds above Iowa. You can see this trough here, this large dip. And these level winds will fuel storm formation, and they will continue being strong throughout the night before moving on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, there will be another very large severe threat, and I'll get to that soon enough. But if you look at the upper level winds, 250 millibars, you see this very large, deep trough, this dip in the jet stream. And with these lines these are isobars. This is surface, this is surface. Pressures and temps, surface pressure, and these are winds aloft, so really large, deep trough. On Tuesday, it'll continue pumping through. And on Wednesday, it's going to have this very prominent tilt to it, negative tilt. And these strong winds aloft will help fuel the storms. If you look at the 500 millibar winds, or mid-level winds, you can see lots of strong winds over here, like basically all in there where just your storms are, and then there's this big area without it. And you see this trough dip. And so if we look at satellite again, and zoom in on the storms, you can see that there's a lot of lightning. These are powerful supercells, and these will go into a line, so everybody who's in their way, be aware. And then there's also one more thing we'll get to later. But for the severe weather threat, look at the Storm Prediction Center and zoom out. Here's the day 1 convective outlook. Hail, wind, and tornado threat. Highest right over here. So severe thunderstorms will rain likely. There will be very strong storms. So basically, there's going to be a dry line here, dry air boundary, and this is going to help start storm formation, although it should start later in the day, later in the evening, I mean. And so over here, storms are already forming and training, which means that they're really feeding into a lot of moisture. For tomorrow, it's going to be the same, pretty much. Hail, wind, tornado threat, also uncomfortably close to where it was before. The western U.S. trough will eject across the Four Corners region to the Intermountain West. Strong daytime heating, the storms, and then for day 3, it's still severe, although most of it will be over here in the plains. And finally, there's one other thing I like to mention. There's the drought is still ongoing for Florida. There are a lot of impacts. It's dry, very hot. If you look in the Panhandle for Santa Rosa County, we are in a D1, D2 through D4 risk. So there's quite a lot of risk. I would not recommend making any fires because the dry conditions will help any fires that start. And if I zoom out the entire US, there's this large drought all over. And when the El Nino really starts building, it's gonna the subtropical jet will bring a lot of rain to the southeast primarily. These areas over here will also get doused with rain soon enough as the troughs keep rolling in. However, the high plains, they should also be aware. It's just very dry, very hot, and also lastly, if you look all the way into the western Pacific, and if I zoom out, this is a super typhoon Sinlaku, winds of 165 miles per hour, cold cloud tops, churning right towards Guam. And this will be the first landfalling storm of the year in the US because it's going to make landfall in Guam. This is a really powerful storm. If you look at cyclonic weather, 906 millibars, winds of 165 miles per hour. Winds are already coming on. This is a very large, very powerful threat. Everyone in Guam needs to be aware. For more updates on this storm specifically, take a look at Western Pacific Weather. They have the best info about this storm and typhoons, but this is a really large, dangerous storm that's going to impact Guam. And so, lastly, I want to remind everyone that the Lord is with them. Whoever is being impacted by these storms, God is with you, and people are praying for you. Thank you for watching.